So in 10 minutes or less. However, it's my first time streaming here on this, so I'm going to. It's probably going to be over 10 minutes because this is kind of a test, but also the class. So normally this will be 10 minutes. This particular one, altered reality. Record to all your streams to unlock automatic recording. Please upgrade your plan. Okay, well, I guess I gotta upgrade my plan. All right. Well, I'm not gonna record this today, so we're just gonna stream. Just gonna stream without the recording. All right. I assume nobody's gonna be watching this because. And it doesn't matter because it's not recorded. So let's see. This is private chat. How do I see the chat? Orientation selection not available in my edit destinations. Streaming on YouTube and streaming on LinkedIn. I wonder if I go to my LinkedIn and see what it looks like. LinkedIn. Like I said, I'm just testing out. I'm about to. You go on to interact. Let's see, where's me? Messaging. Home. How do I know if I'm streaming or not? All right. So 0 people on the YouTube, obviously. And how about on LinkedIn? LinkedIn. Why won't it? All right, LinkedIn. All right, I'm going to go live on Instagram. What is up? Altered Reality, episode 5. Normally, there's going to be 10 minutes or less, but I am practicing my streaming. I'm streaming right now on YouTube and on LinkedIn, allegedly. What's up, Tatty Zaddy and Moon Art? What's up? Hey. So this is Altered Reality in 10 minutes or less, but it's going to be longer than 10 minutes because I'm practicing streaming via Restream. It's my first time. Yeah, it's my first time you get to be here. I'm not in San Francisco, and I don't know when I will be in San Francisco next. I did just watch the Spider-Verse last night. What's up, Muay Thai and Lucha Live and Monkey, and I love you too, Nick S. Junior 49er. All right, so let us start. She suddenly realized that she was separate from everything that surrounded her and all that was happening to her. She was the reality in which she found herself. She existed of herself independently, just as reality did. And she suddenly understood, not with her mind, but with all her being, that here she had ended up in a book, and she was supposed to wander through the pages, playing out the plot. It was like a movie, which you watch as you immerse yourself in fictional reality. If you concede and give yourself over to what is happening, you have no other choice than to play a role assigned to you. In the last episode that I had here, we talked about how everybody is a puppet if you're not paying attention. We go out and we're being mannequins, we follow celebrities, we listen to politicians, we do all these things, and yet we go with the flow of everything, and not in the good way of going with the flow, but we let the flow pull us. Oh, I should have used my lights back there. My professional equipment's back there. And so a shout out to Tatty Zaddy for buying a badge. I love you too. I'm way more expensive than that if you want me to put my hands inside of you. But I don't do that. So if you're being a puppet or you're following with the flow without choosing the direction that you're going, you are going to end up just playing the role that gets assigned to you. You already know nature abhors a vacuum, and so it's going to fill it. Yeah, I said fill it. So if you don't give it something to get full, it's going to dictate what it is that you do. So what if you choose not to do anything? Well, then you're just going to be pulled along with the flow instead of controlling the flow. So choose always where it is that you want to go. So which roles are you playing right now? Look at your life, like look in your work life. What roles are you playing? Look in your relationship life. What roles are you playing? In your business, which roles are you playing? In your physical body, like what roles are you playing? In all the areas of life, you are playing separate roles. And in some areas, you are feel very empowered in some you feel disempowered in. So look at the roles that you're playing. Are you being forced to play these roles? Like, say at work, do you just show up and you are a mannequin and you are a puppet there and you just go with the flow and it controls you and you're not dictating your reality there? Or are you choosing and controlling the ways that you're moving? Because what if you remain separate from the movie? If you keep yourself separate, so there you are. In fact, go. I just watched two movies yesterday back to back. I was bored and I wanted to practice this technique, so I went to the movie and I'm watching the movie. And so in the movie, we really, or a TV show, whatever it is, you're watching and you know you're not participating in it. That's often what's happening to us in real life, where we're watching a show. We feel like it's real, but we're not actually in it. Obviously, because it's a TV show or a movie, you know you're not in it. But that happens in real life too, except for you're actually in it. But you might as well not be. You might as well be watching a movie. So what you like to be is you like to be a participant in the show or in the movie or at your work or in your relationships. You want to participate, but also have the same awareness as you're watching it. Like when you're watching a TV show, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're going to do that. You're so much more smart when you're watching a movie or watching a TV show, right? Than if you were in the same exact situation and it was real life for you. Because think about that. So, what you want to do is be both. You want to be a participant on the stage of your life, and you want to be in the audience at the same time. So, she looked around fanatically. This is about Mannequin City, which is 97% of the people that you're going to run into in your life. They call them, I guess, NPCs is a really big thing now on Twitter and on social media. These are the NPCs that show up in your life, whether it's at your work or when you're going out, when you're in a restaurant or when you're at a movie theater or wherever you're in a place of business. A lot of people, and by a lot, I mean 97% at least, if not up to 99% of the people you run into are mannequins, are NPCs. So look at around yourself. We're not surprised these days when stupid stuff happens. In fact, every single day something stupid happens. You can go online right now and somebody's being canceled for some stupid stuff. And the people that are doing the canceling are canceling via stupid stuff. So look at the recent events of your reality. Don't worry about my world or your world. Look at what's actually happening, because the stories that you make up are going to be real no matter what. So don't even look at what you're observing. Look at what's actually happening. Like move out. You want to be participant and outside of yourself. You want to be in the audience and give yourself the damn fine advice. Because the recent realities, the recent events of your surrounding reality are outrageous. Your shoes will fly away, your money will fly away, your mind will fly away, and you won't get anything out of life. And in fact, life isn't going to get much more out of you other than you're just going to be a drone in the system. And this is what most of the people are. So if you want to get stuff out of life, if you want to get stuff out of other people, if you want to get stuff out of reality, do not lose the plot. So it's you're the one that's controlling your plot. And just because everybody else has lost their minds in the middle of the plot doesn't mean that you have to lose it. And in fact, if things are going nuts around you, but you know the direction that you want to be going, you can control your plot 100% of the time. It actually doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter who's president or not president. It doesn't matter what's going on in your reality or not. It doesn't matter if your boss sucks or if your boss is amazing. It doesn't matter if your meal sucked or your meal was amazing. Move through. Because even when reality comes in with a plot twist, something happens in the world, something happens on the other side of the world, like there's wars going on and there's economy stuff going on, that does not mean that you have to move on the path with that plot. You can just be like, okay, that's somebody else's story and that's somebody else's experience. You want Dutch Crunch just by looking at my sexy ball head. I love you too. Hey, Marta. Hey, 808. Hey, Wesley. You don't, it's not being devoid of emotions, Tatty Zaddy. It's about being in control of what it is that you're thinking, feeling, and being. And then noticing that even when the emotions are bad, are they actually bad? Or is it just something that you're making up? Because again, even when reality comes in with a plot twist, it does not mean that you have to move on that same exact path. You can just be like, no, I'm not going to be on that path. I don't care. Just go around it. Something happens. You don't like the president. Just go around it. Something happens and there's war. Just go around it. That's not your place. Just go around it like finding a detour. If you're driving somewhere and the GPS and you're using your phone or even just walking and there's a roadblock, are you just gonna be like, oh, sorry, I'm just gonna go back home because I don't know how to get there? No, you're just gonna find another way to go, right? So just find a detour. Or like I like to say, and I was just doing batting practice with the Walnut Creek Crawdads, the Crawdaddies, and I was taking batting practice, and he threw like a bad pitch. You don't have to swing at every single thing that's thrown at you. If the curveball comes, just take the pitch. You don't have to swing at anything just because life throws you these things. When you start doing that, when you start noticing, oh, I'm freaking really upset right now, you don't have to take the bait. Meanwhile, after the tilting of the hourglass, the landscape acquired a new detail. In the distance, Matilda began to make out, she didn't say make out, the contours of the city. You see the priestess. Now you have somewhere to go. What's it that you see? So let's go. Let's get a move on. It's high time we put an end to all this nonsense. Everything's a mirage, so start recreating the illusions in your life. She took the sand from her dress and strode in the direction of her goal. The sand creaked beneath her bare feet like glass, although it seemed to her as if rather than her walking ahead, the landscape was coming forwards to meet her, while she had barely placed one foot in front of the other. Moreover, the goal was approaching with unnatural speed. What happens when you put out goals out there for yourself? You'll notice, if you feel like it and if you choose to, that you'll find evidence that what you want to be coming true is coming true. So when you commit to your goal, set your sights on it. The world will always meet you halfway. The priestess entered the city and noticed that was awfully quiet there. When the awfulness is quiet, should you be quiet too? Is this true for you? What happens in your mind when things are not happening the way that you want them to be? She went from one house to another, from stairway to stairway, being mindful of where she placed her feet, until she almost collided with a mannequin. And this will be the last page we go through in Mannequin City for now. She leapt backwards in surprise, her heart beating furiously. The figure stood motionless, and this is like every single person that's out there. 97% at least. In fact, if you're there and you're looking and you're with other people, just keep in mind that almost every single time, every single other human being around you is going to be motionless in here, in here. They might even be overtly boisterous, but that doesn't mean that they're in motion. It doesn't mean that they're in control of their motion, which definitely means they're not in control of their emotions. The figure did not move an inch, and I'm talking about internally. She ran her fingers through the figure's arms and cheeks and all that. Look as you're talking to people, especially the ones that are talking the loudest, being the most egregious. Usually they're on autopilot. It's the same stuff over and over and over again. If you want great example of this, go to Twitter. That's probably the number one place where it's just zombie after zombie after zombie after zombie. And the thing is everybody that is an NPC thinks that their character is the most important character, but without actually being that. I beat sandwiches, and yes, I do have the best sandwiches. So test your hunch. Try passing your hand through the bodies of others, and not literally, but look at what it is that they're being, that they're doing, that they're saying. They're mostly empty stuff. Even when what they're talking about is serious, like they can be talking about all the serious talking points on social media or in the world today, and it's still a ghost of a person. Even if what they're saying is right, that doesn't make them not a mannequin and not a puppet and not just regurgitating other people's opinions, passing it on as their own. Even if you agree with them, like it's not whether you agree with them or you don't agree with them. It's about what is it that they're doing? What is it that they're being? And how is it that they're actually participating in the universe in order to make it better? Uh, a lot of people have ulterior motives, and I'm going to say there's no such thing as an ulterior motive. Everybody has their motives, and it's only in relationship to what we think is valuable or in our values that we think it's ulterior or not. Because everybody, there's not a single unselfish act that a human has ever made. Any act, whether you deem it selfish or unselfish, was done because that person perceived it to give them the more amount of benefits to drawbacks or the least amount of drawbacks compared to something else. So we always move towards the best option on the menu. 100% of the time. That's never going to not be true. No matter what it is, even if you hate the person, they're moving towards the best thing that's on their menu. Whatever you're doing, you're moving towards the best thing that's on your menu, even when you make a mistake. So it isn't about taking advantage of people or derail you or put evil eyes or any of that stuff. Everybody, you can't ever count on a human being to do something that will give them the more drawbacks than benefits. No, it's always going to be the most benefits to drawbacks. Now, they might be wrong. It might actually be not giving them more benefits than drawbacks, but that's what they perceive on their menu of life. So there's no such thing as that, in my opinion. And I'm going to go not just my opinion, but in like just actual physics. How do you deal with toxic naysayers and haters? Well, one, I'll say that If you're thinking that you're not going to have any naysayers or haters ever in your life, that's a fantasy world. By definition, if you have a one fan, you're going to have one enemy. Or if you have 20,000 fans, you're going to have enemies to the extent, like the same degree of fandom you're going to have, you're going to have the same amount, according to physics, of drawbacks. So I have hella haters online. How do I deal with them? I just go, oh, great. That must mean that there's some people that love me just as much as these people are hating on me. I think the best way to deal with them is to not ever believe the negative things about you, but also temper yourself when you hear amazing things about you. And in that case, then you're not going to be too high and you're not going to be too low. That's what I do. It's okay, Tatty Zaddy. I don't need anybody to be in love with me. I'm just a loner through life. Self-appointed prophecy. Well, every single action by every single person is self-inflicted. It is probably, I mean, I think hopefully it's not becoming controversial to say stuff like that, but in reality, no one can help or harm you without your consent. So if you're being harmed, you consented to that. If you're being helped, you consented to that too. And just look at people that you've tried to help in your past and they won't accept your help, right? Did that mean you're a bad person? No. Well, why aren't they accepting your help? It's because they don't want it. And same thing, if you're going out and you're harming people or somebody saying, you're messing with me or you're being bad or whatever, right? They can't interpret that as you being bad unless they interpret it as being bad. Because the same actions, some people love things that other people hate. So is it the action or is it the person? Right? So it's not the action. If we know the same exact action, two people can do it to two different people, or two people can do it to the same person, and those people can take it differently. If you ever make me a sandwich with mustard, I will freaking block you. I've never blocked anybody on. Actually, that's not true. I've blocked one person on Instagram ever. But you'll be the second if you make me a sandwich with mustard on it. So let me finish this page, and then I'll get to your questions. She took a step back in complete amazement and suddenly found herself falling through everything in the world as if it were made of air. Panicking, she zigzagged from side to side, falling through walls and stairways. And I'll get to your guys' questions in a second. I just want to finish this page. She could no longer tell what was ghost-like and what was immaterial here. See, everything in reality is unreal. Reality was continuing to weave an ominous web of illusion in a game that the priestess appeared to be losing. If you go to my other stuff on my IGTV, mainly create your own reality or creating our reality, you'll see how we talk about is everything's illusion and everything you can create your own self. So if you're having a life that you do not enjoy, oh, I was been looking for this piece of paper. It was in here as a bookmark. I've been looking for it. See, I just made magic for myself. You're creating everything. So when you're fearful of your situation, what's going on in your mind? Like what happens in your life that you become fearful of it? When has life appeared to you to be like this, where everything, like you don't know what the hell's going on? Hey, what's up, DJ time? Miss you, my man. So when you are fearful of your situation in life, what happens for you in your results wise, in your emotion wise, in how you handle it wise? Ask yourself these questions. In fact, if you can get really, really, really freaking good at noticing when you feel bad and then moving towards what you would like anyway, how much better could your life be? All right, now we went way past 10 minutes. I'm still practicing on my streaming here. I'm on YouTube. I think I'm on LinkedIn. I don't know. I'll have to see. Nobody logged in over there though, so thank you for the like 100 or so of you guys that went on here. So let me get to your questions. All right, we already did that. Will you ever be down to sponsor a night at the Smoke Lounge on Mill Avenue? I don't even know where the Smoke Lounge is on Mill, and what do you mean by sponsor it? I mean, It's not a no. I don't. I need more details. DM me that stuff. You left the chat. All I heard was that you were going to block me for mustard. Yes. I wish it were that easy for all my exes. For what? Blocking you for mustard? Anthony Bills. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Well, you guys came at the end. I am going to log out. Lonely Lungs, if you're still there, DM me. Whatever you were talking about. Hey, what's up, Josh? Love you, man. And I think that's all the questions. I'm scrolling back a little bit. Thank you, Megan. I don't know if you're still there, but I love you too. Hey, what's up, Wesley? Somebody working at Ike's logged in while they're there. Because I cake, eat her cake. I don't want cake. All right, do I like the band Dystopia? I've not heard of the band Dystopia. All right, y'all. That's it. This is supposed to only be 10 minutes, but like I said, I was practicing my streaming, which I don't think I did a good job practicing. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to end it right here after I say, hey, Mac, love you, and goodbye, everybody. All right, I don't know how this thing works. Hey, YouTubers or whatever, I don't want no private chat. I want no freaking real chat. Let's see, where's chat? Oh, here we go. Chat, social comments, display here. Click on them to showcase in the stream. Captions, graphics. I'll get used to it. All right, love you, muss ya. Bye.